Hey guys, Carl Sugar back again, NowDriven Training, and on this one, we're going to talk about the reports and the analytics. So let's go ahead and open up my reports and my analytics. So the first thing here is you're going to want to pick a date range. So we have different reports. We have current reports, average reports, and managers reports. The average reports are a really cool thing, but the first thing I'm going to show you here is the current reports. So let's go back, let's say, let's go back to January and then to today, which is the 4th. So hit submit. Okay, now here you're going to see your current report for that date range. Typically, you're going to look at the month, or if you want to look at 5-week thing, you want to look at a 3-week, 2-week, whatever you want to do, you can look at the day. I mean, you can break it down to the day. So the first thing you can look at in the current report is how many opportunities have I had. So these are the number of new leads I put into the system since those date ranges. This is the number of callbacks, which this should be a lot higher, right? If I was managing myself, I would say this should be a higher number. Drop bys, number of people I've dropped by, number of appointments that I've made, number of no-shows, people that didn't show up when I had an appointment with them, number of presentations, number of sales made, number of calls made, annual net sales. This number here is actually your total sales. So it doesn't necessarily need to be annual net sales, but it is your net sales. So it could be your commissions. This is that number you put in that I've been saying before. It could be your commissions, could be the total value of the product that you're selling. It could be, those different numbers that you're going to be looking at. So that's what you'd put in there for that. And then total miles, we're going to be expanding this feature a little bit more, but that's something that'll come out in the future. That is a mileage tracker, which will be pretty neat in the future. But for right now, it's still a great thing to track, to know how many miles you're driving. Typically I would drive about 100 to 150 miles a day because I did a lot of drop-bys. And then dead leads. These are the leads that just you fell through the cracks. You couldn't do anything with them. You couldn't sell them, or you couldn't get a hold of them. You could just, however you want to code those, as dead. Now, the next thing we'll look at here is the average reports. And under the average reports, we're going to look at you can look at weekly, monthly, and yearly. So let's look at weekly. And right now, for this week, I don't have any new opportunities because nothing's come in that's new. I haven't had any callbacks, average callbacks anyways, average calls made. So let's go ahead and look at a weekly average. We'll go back to February 1st. Okay, so now that's going to change things up a little bit more. I could even go back another month, January 1st. And then look at it. So that even changes it even more. So it's good to look at that. These numbers here, by the way, if you're working constantly, I mean, literally, I've been just testing the system out, but this thing is going to be very, very valuable for you because you can see like your averages for the week. So I'm averaging 33 new leads a week. Okay. I'm averaging 0 callbacks, meaning I'm not making my callbacks. Calls made, I'm averaging 2 calls made per week. This number is going to be a lot higher than that when you're using it. I'm averaging 12 drop-bys a week. I'm averaging 3 appointments a week. These numbers, again, are skewed because it could be a lot higher. It should be a lot higher. My average sales is 3.176 sales per week. My average presentations per week is 4.5. My average sales amount is this crazy number, but again, this is something we were testing with crazy numbers. We wanted to make sure it can handle it. My average cash per sale. So this is like, if you're in insurance, is like your average premium per sale. If you're tracking your commissions, it'd be your average commission per sale. If you're doing it on the total value of the sale, like if you're selling homes and you're doing $500,000 homes, it'd be like your average mortgage per sale. So we use the word cash because we just wanted it to work with all industries. So again, that's based off that number you stick in there, right? So your average cash per sale, your average cash per lead, your average cash from unknown leads. So these are like going to break down the leads, the average money you make per lead. So if you know your cost per lead, say your lead cost was $20 and you knew that your average cash per this type of lead, this unknown lead or this mailer, if you paid $20 and your average cash per lead, commission was $39, you would be making a little bit of money, but you would be saying, I'm not making enough money. Now, if you look at this one, this unknown is this is $1,144. It was costing me $20 or $25 or $30 or $50 a lead. Then that's going to be a great number to look at. If I was selling annuities and I knew, I made a 5% commission or something like that on $1 million, it's $50,000. Well, let's say it took me 10 leads. If you break down these analytics, guys, what I'm getting to is that you're going to know what your cost, if you know your cost per lead, you're going to know what your profit is by just looking at what you make for every single lead. So you'll know what to focus on. For me, I'm going to look at this and say wow, this source one is ridiculous. I mean, this is, again, was something we were testing, but let's just say hypothetically, I was bringing in this $1 million value and that was per lead. So if my lead cost, say it was $1,000, it'd be still well worth my lead cost for me to just sink all of my money here, right? Then it's going to show me my overall closing ratio. It's going to show me my show ratio. The show ratio is going to be skewed sometimes because you're actually saying I did a presentation on something that wasn't an appointment, and sometimes that'll actually skew that number. So we're trying to look at something that will fix that. It should be fixed soon. But anyway, right here, you can look at the most important things here is your closing ratio. So your closing ratio per these types of leads too. So if I was saying referrals, I'm closing 100% of referrals. I need to figure out how to get more referrals, and I need to figure out how to get more referrals from mailers, because mailers, I'm doing, my closing ratio is 66.67% on mailers. So I would sink all my money into mailers, and then I would do my best to get referrals from these mailers, which is where all my sales were coming from. And another just kind of sales tip here is the 80-20 rule. They say that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your leads. Well, if you could narrow down that lead source, that 20% lead source that all your sales are coming from, that's where you sink all your money into, because you're going to increase your return of profit there. Now, if you're a manager, where it's not even going to show, so we have it on another account, but if you're a manager, you're going to see there's going to be a bird's eye view of all of your leads, not your leads, but all of your all of these numbers are going to be in a spreadsheet type of looking thing for each one of your salespeople under you. So you can actually see a bird's eye view. You'll see totals of different hierarchy levels underneath of you, and all of that is going to be available very soon. But until then, we won't have that on the training. And obviously, it's not something I was actually even mentioning too much, anyways. When you when you got started, this is just kind of an added bonus. So this is Carl Schuckert. I hope you got a lot out of this one about reports and analytics that you can get and see the value here of how this can crazily increase your profits, majorly increase your profits, and the fact that this reports and tracks all of the stuff for you, so you don't have to do it. All right. So, and then very next training, we're going to talk about goal management, and then we're going to wrap up the training on the web application. So this is Carl Schuckert, NowDriven Training. We'll see you on the next one.